Welcome to our first iKhokha Live. My name's Ramsay and I'll be your host for today, and we've got some pretty cool segments lined up for you. We hope that you learn something, and drop comments, drop questions, anything you want in the comment section that will tell us how we're doing, and let us respond to you on anything you need to learn or anything you need to know. Please remember, it's not a support line, so we're not going to go with active merchant queries right now, but things you need to know about cash flow, about the demo that you might see later, anything that you want to ask our very famous Durban entrepreneur on my left here, who I'm going to introduce shortly, please do that. From our side, we really wanted to launch the iKhokha live stream to you guys to dive deeper into some of the things that we've been building, as well as speak to a lot of the entrepreneurs that we've been lucky enough to mingle with. And obviously the countless lessons we've learned from a personal side, as well as the products that we've developed and how we make those products fit our entrepreneurs' needs. So what we're doing tonight is we're talking to entrepreneurs, an entrepreneur, and we're deep diving into a demo around our dashboard and some of our accounting functionality that will help you better your cash flow, manage your business better, and obviously change your chances of success within the business. So stay tuned. There are some great giveaways that we've got for you. We have 3 prizes to be won by 3 lucky merchants online tonight. So all you have to do is comment your business name and what you do. Obviously keep it quite short, please. I think comments have a character limit. So your business name and what you do, and you will be able to receive, or you'll stand in line to receive, one of these epic iKhokha caps that I'm sure Quinzy on my left here would appreciate. You are able to buy them on our web store, shameless plug, but you are able to buy them. You will also be able to win an accounting consultation for 1 hour that will really work through where your business is at and what you need to do to either pull it on track or continue the work that you're doing that may be benefiting you. You will also be winning 3 months of a free accounting package with that. So all in all, quite a cool hamper to win, quite a nice package that'll really get you ahead in your business adventure, if it is an adventure, and really get you ahead. So obviously like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Stay tuned to the educational content we'll be bringing you over the next few weeks, and obviously these live sessions, which are intended to really talk to you guys and talk to the people that we're getting to meet on the ground. So that is kind of the hygiene stuff that I have to work through, and that the team over here is nodding at me because I seem to have nailed that part, so that's great. The next part is really the highlight of the show, and that's talking to Quinzy in Como. She is from Indoni Fashion House, and she is one of, I was going to say up and coming, but she's not up and coming. She's one of the top Durban designers that you'll come across. She's won multiple awards at the Durban Fashion Fair. She's been to Singapore, London, Cote d'Ivoire. She has 3 stores already in KZN. She is a born and bred KZN girl, so obviously we love her, being iKhokha, being also born and bred KZN. And so I've asked her to join us on the studio here to share some of her insights of the journey, that with all adventures there are good parts and bad parts, and that's when you afterwards you look back and you think, sheesh, that was a crazy adventure. And I think you've got some of the scars, as do I, to tell that story. So Quinzy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Ramsay.
Thank you.
Good evening to everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, and
thanks
for bringing your vibe. It's so cool. It's so cool. So Quinzy, the one thing I wanted to ask was, obviously we all have hopes and dreams, right?
Very true.
Especially as entrepreneurs, you start this journey, but it has to come from somewhere. So my question, the first question tonight is, tell me a little bit about your backstory, where you come from, and then I'll ask you some more questions after that.
All right. My name is Quinzy Nkomo. I'm born and bred in KZN. From iKhokha, that's where I was born. And then, but then I grew up I grew up in iKhokha, and then eventually moved to Pietermaritzburg in New Hanover. That's when I did where I finished my matric. my parents passed at a very young age. So in my school at the time, one of the nuns was a principal. So I was raised by the nuns immediately after the parents passed. So after my dad had passed, I had to move to Pietermaritzburg with the nuns. I'm truly thankful to them for raising me and everything they did for me. But it wasn't easy. It was hard having to be raised by the people that didn't give birth to you. Total strangers. There were so many difficulties. I missed home. There were like rules, because once you get there, then you're not able to go home. You're not able to go to your people. The only time you go home is when you leave for good. So I couldn't, because unfortunately there was no one at home who was going to take care of me. I'm coming from a family of 9. I'm the 8th. So they selected me because I was the youngest girl, because they couldn't take the boys since they are the nuns. At the time, they were not allowed to adopt boys. So it was only me that was going to be able to come stay with them. And one of the rules there was, in order for them to assist you, then you have to come and stay with them, because they couldn't assist you if you're going to be staying in your home.
Yes.
So that's why I got to, that's how I got to go and stay with them. It was very hard. I'm not going to go deep into it. I spoke to Ramsay the other day about it. It was really hard growing up. But then somehow it helped shape me to the person I am today. There's things I learned. There's people I lost in between. Because by the time I got home, my mother was very sick. I'm glad I was able to get home a month before she died, because I was able to see her. If I couldn't go home before that, then I was not going to be able to bury her. That's how bad things were. And also, like, there was a lot happening, but I'm not going to go deep into it. I don't want to cry. My daughter tells me all the time that I shouldn't cry because I look ugly, so I'm
Oh, you don't look ugly. Well, I also cry all the time, just to be clear. I'm kind of known in iKhokha for crying at the worst moments.
I try not to.
I'm also trying not to cry, but look, I think obviously we don't need to go too deeply into the trauma, and I understand that there is trauma there. And I think just telling a bit of your story and some of your origin story puts a lot into perspective for a lot of people watching us tonight. And some of them might have privileged backgrounds, and some of them might have not so privileged backgrounds. And I think being able to use that as the flame and the fire that you've got, and create something really positive out of it is obviously a great talent.
Thank you.
And something that, I said it to you when I left the other day, and I asked you, I said, this could be quite a controversial question, but I said, if you hadn't have had the trauma, do you think you'd be where you are today?
I wouldn't. That for sure I know, I wouldn't. Some of the things that makes me work this hard is because I just cannot go back to where I was or where I'm coming from. So that in a way helps push me to work hard, and somehow it helps me. Like, my work is like, it saved me in a way, because like, looking back at how things were growing up, like, I don't want my kids to ever experience what I went through. At some point I hated my family, even my siblings. We're not close till today because of the things that happened. I felt like at some point the things I went through, I shouldn't, some of the things that happened shouldn't have happened, wouldn't have happened if they, like, I felt like they didn't care for me enough.
Yeah, there was a bit of a stronger family.
Exactly. Like what I just spoke about, being at the nuns for over like 7 years, I wasn't in contact with my family.
Yeah.
They didn't see me for that long. At some point, one of the nuns left and told them that they should come and take me back home. All they did was just give me a call and check if I was okay. I wish they had done more. I wish they had gone there to see how things were, but they didn't. So somehow, as much as we're old now, we are close as the family, but we are not as close as we're supposed to be because of the things that happened in the past.
Yeah, always. I think it's I mean, not to comment on your situation, but I think it's that, there's always someone in need, and to just reach out and be in touch with people and be close to them is so important and so necessary for support for young kids, young adults, and parents and big adults. So, okay, so that is quite a gnarly story to start. And I understand that, like, there's trauma and there's this deep story that you have, and I never want to cheapen that. But you then moved into fashion, right? And you told me, see how the smile comes to your face. And you told me that fashion was kind of your escape. It was a way out.
That's very true. Growing up, I was told almost every day that I'm ugly. They had never seen a person as ugly as I am. And somehow these marks on my face, I was bullied a lot growing up, not only at school by the school kids, but by the people that were supposed to be protecting me, the people that were supposed to raise me and give me a good life and a future. Somehow they're the ones that destroyed me a lot, because somehow fashion helped build my self-confidence. So growing up, I was told I was ugly. I hated my face mostly, especially the marks.
I think they're a vibe.
Immediately when I left the nuns and having to go home now, start life, I felt like I was coming from prison, because in there was no life at all. I couldn't watch TV, no newspapers. I didn't know anything that was happening in an outside world. Now all of a sudden I'm back home. At the time they had moved to Lamontville, so that's where my fashion journey started. So when I got home, now I'm starting life all over again. I don't even know where to start. And the love for clothes started from there. And also even when I was still with the nuns, because somehow the clothes we were wearing were donated by different people. We were wearing long dresses. I used to be so stressed at school when we were supposed to be wearing CVs, because I would come with these long dresses and somehow I wanted to change them and make them look beautiful, but somehow I was not allowed to. The only thing I could use there was the sewing machine. I think somehow the love for fashion started from there as well. So when I got home, obviously I didn't have any money, but then somehow I could afford a few things. So the love for fashion started building from there, because I would change clothes, I would look different. I started now making my own clothes, sewing them myself. When I was at college doing public management, people actually started placing orders to me before I could even go to fashion school. That's how it all started, because I would look different. Somehow the fact that I hated my face, it helped, dressing differently. For some reasons, I loved how people appreciated how I was dressed compared to how I was looking, because I somehow
how you thought you looked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somehow I believed I was ugly, so somehow looking or dressing differently worked for me. So somehow it helped build the self-confidence, and the love for fashion started from there. And then I had to go now do it professionally, because now people had started making orders and I couldn't make clothes properly. So that's how I got to do it professionally.
Okay.
I never thought I would do fashion as a career. So that's how the love started.
And what was the first piece of clothing that you sold? Do you remember that?
No, because it was a while ago. It was it's been over 12 years in business. I made quite a few. But even when I was studying, I was already making clothes for people. And then up until I now started having to do fashion shows, that's where Indoni was born.
Okay, so now talk to me about that, right? So now you've come out of this hectic past, you've discovered that there's something that is here that I can touch and feel, and it fills my heart. So now you're a creator, you've sold a few pieces of clothing, and now you're becoming a bit of a business.
Yes.
And you've maybe been to fashion school. I remember you told me you went to fashion school in
Yes,
business
I did.
management.
Yes.
We don't have to go too deeply into that,
Okay.
but run me through now. You making these clothes,
Yeah.
but now you have a business. And
Yes.
what happened there where it changed from just I'm making clothes because it makes me feel good and people want them
Yeah.
to now I'm running a business?
Yeah. Somehow at some point I wish I had, I don't know, maybe I wish I had started, because all I knew back then was being creative, and all I wanted to do was make beautiful clothes. So this part of having to now be a business caught me off guard. Like I've made so many mistakes because all I wanted and all I was interested in was making beautiful clothes. So now when people started buying them, like I didn't know how to price my garments. All the money would just go to fabrics, then I'm left with nothing because I didn't know how to price. There were so many things that I didn't know that I didn't know of. Up until 2014 when I did the Durban Fashion Mentorship Program. That's where I got to learn so many things from the fabric selection. I learned so many things from there, so it helped in a way. And also in 2014, once I started doing the Durban Mentorship Program, I had to do a fashion show for the first time in my life, and it was huge because I was showcasing at Durban ICC doing the Durban Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So that's where I got my break. From there, now, there's so many things I learned because from there I now had to have the fabric. After you've done a fashion show, those are the things I didn't know of. Once you've done a fashion show, people now are interested. They want to buy the garments. The fabric is gone.
You've only got 5 pieces of clothing. Yeah.
I only made like 5 pieces to showcase. After that, people wants to buy. I couldn't buy in bulk, obviously. So at the time, I got to learn so many things from there. So I've become a different person from that time now. I've grown so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's it. Entrepreneurship, I suppose, is like parenting in a way, but it's painful, but you grow and you learn. And that's a good thing.
That's true.
Sure, that's quite a story. So along the way, now you're running a business, and we spoke about it last week, but you realize you can't just you can't do everything. You can't be the marketer, the designer, the bookkeeper, the everything. So you said that you started looking at hiring someone, and you got an assistant. So
when I first started, after being in the business for a couple of years, it was around maybe about 4 years. The business started booming. People started I started having mentees. I started by having mentees at the time.
That means kids, young people that look that you
young
teach.
Designers that were coming from fashion schools. So I started by hiring them, but then I realized that instead of me benefiting, I was giving more. I couldn't get what I wanted because they were here to learn. So I now had to start hiring professional seamstresses because unfortunately I couldn't do everything from pattern making to cutting to garment construction to making sure that the garment is perfect for business. And also around 2016 I got an opportunity to supply Durban Fashion Fair they had opened a store which was called Durban
YDE?
No, it was DFF Emporium, Durban Fashion Emporium.
Yes.
That's where my love for retail started. That's where I got to learn about retail. So now I was venturing into a different space because I was used to making one garment at a time, always relying on orders. Now I had this opportunity to supply a store, which was something totally different from what I was doing. So I got to learn so much from there as well. Now I had to start hiring professional seamstresses. Luckily, there was a designer that had moved to Cape Town, so I got to hire these employees from her. And from there, we've had, I had to have now an assistant, which was something new for me because people were used to being in contact with me alone.
Yes.
Now there's this person that is answering the phones, that is assisting them at the studio. Some got uncomfortable about that, but some grew with me, which I'm very appreciative of. So a lot, I've revolved, I've grown, I've lost clients in the way, I've gained new. A lot has happened along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things now, kind of focusing on cash flow now a bit more, and obviously the theme of this segment, but one of the things you told me was that when you create these garments, you go down a journey with someone, because you're creating a project of love, right?
Exactly.
It's for this person to show up in a way that makes them feel good, and obviously you want to give them that feeling,
Very
and you
true.
work together.
Yeah.
And so you develop this relationship.
Yeah.
But when it comes to payment, that relationship is actually not a good thing. And then it's easy for the client to say, hey, I'll pay you in 4 days or 5 days or next week. And because you have a relationship and you don't want to make things sour, then you say, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So
but then
talk
you
me
end up
through
not getting the money at all.
Yes.
I had to learn to separate me and the business, which was something very hard to do. Even now, I'm still struggling with it. I'm a very soft, kind person by nature. So that is, it's either, sometimes it's good and sometimes it doesn't work for the business, because you have to be tough. Somehow, these bills are not going to pay themselves. You're in this business now because you need to make money, and you have a big team now that has to be paid at the end of the month. And with me, it's even harder, because in the fashion business, they get paid weekly. So now I started struggling with the cash flow, because I now have clients that started with me when I first started. We are comfortable with each other, and some have become friends. And now when it comes to the side of business where they have to pay, it became an issue. It became a problem for me, because I'm not able to now demand them to pay. So I had to have someone at the studio that's gonna take care of the business, of the financial side of the business. Somehow it helped in a way. And also having the iKhokha machine helped in a way, because whenever people comes, they would tell me that they're going to do the EFT once they get home, and it never happens.
And then they don't.
So the minute I started having the machine also helps, because now people are able to pay there and then. By the time they leave, we sorted. So in a way, I've grown, I've learned, I've made so many mistakes as well. And also, I had to try and, like I said, I had to separate myself from the business and friends and family as well. Like, I've borrowed people monies that I now, whenever I get a chance to sit and think, I blame myself on how did I make this mistake. So I now try and separate the two, even though I'm still struggling with it, but I'm getting there.
I hear you. I think we've been talking about it a lot, but it's that as a business, as an entrepreneur, you start the business, but the business has its own identity.
That's
and
true.
You as a single person, you have your identity, and they shouldn't be crossed, even though you are your business, So we've been talking about it where you do a job at someone's house, for instance, a plumber, or you sell a dress, for instance, to someone, and you receive cash for that. And on the way home, your kids need bread and milk, and so you buy that.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
that money that you're spending there on the bread and milk is not for you. So
yeah, because you're supposed to be planting it back to the business. The problem is I thought it was us creatives alone. I don't know about other businesses, but with us creatives, like Indoni had become my baby. It's my child. I get too attached. Hence, I'm not able to separate myself now, because the whole process, I'm the one that is doing it. I'm making patterns, I'm cutting, I'm selecting the fabrics, and even have to be do a one-on-one with the clients and build that relationship with the clients, which I'm very grateful for, because there's people that has supported us from day one that are still in our lives. I'm truly thankful for that. It's been like an over 10 years journey to think that we have clients that has been with us for that long.
From the start,
Like, it means I feel like there is something right that I'm doing, which
100%.
I'm very proud of, because even though there's other mistakes that I've done along the way, but I'm truly thankful for the support that we keep getting, and it means we are doing well in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And I think, you know, one of the things with being an entrepreneur along the way, you tend to doubt yourself and you don't want to.
True.
It's part of the journey, but you don't want to do that too much.
Yeah.
And I think just judging from what I see and the passion that I can hear in your voice and the chats we've had, it's like there's clearly something you're doing very right. So
Yeah, thank
I
you.
suppose, you know, from us here, it's saying you're absolutely crushing it, and we're watching you on the Instagram side, and
Thank you.
we're so stoked to be a part of your business and your journey.
Thank you so much. I'm truly honored to be here. There's so many businesses that you guys would have selected.
Oh, well,
I'm truly
like,
thankful.
you know, you're up and coming. That's why you're here on this first show.
Amen. I'm truly thankful for the opportunity.
Awesome. No, thank you, Quinzy. I really, really appreciate you being here, and I respect the work that you're doing, the heritage, where it comes from.
Yeah.
Durban has a big fashion heritage, and
That's
it's just
very
so
true.
nice to see it being continued by someone like you with the passion that you do.
I'm truly thankful for that. And yeah, I'm hoping we're going to grow from here.
100%. Last question for you, and then I'll let you go. Oh, actually, I've got two. One is that you're a mom and you have children, and some of us do here. Some of us are too young to even think of having children. They tell you when they were born, and you're like, no ways. I'm matriculated then. But anyway, so the question is, you're an entrepreneur and you're a mom of two.
Yes.
How, and you create, you market, you know, you're doing all these things. How do you manage parenting and entrepreneurship and the demands of our life?
I am truly thankful for my team. I won't lie, it hasn't been easy. And also building a team like I have done has not been easy. I've lost some of my employees along the way, but others have been with me. There's a mom, we call her mom. She started with me in 2017. She's still with us till today. So my team has helped in a way, because there were sleepless nights. There's nights where I have to sleep at the studio.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Durban July soon. It gets really hectic, and when we're working on a new collection, like if we're gonna do a fashion week, it gets really hectic. So it's been hard having to raise my kids and also raise this business, because they're all my babies now.
Yeah.
So somehow I had to have a full-time nanny at home, and I try and make time for my daughters whenever I get a chance. Like during the Sundays, I try and spend time with them, and whenever I'm doing fashion shows, I try and come with them.
Yeah.
My big daughter is also very interested in being a model. So whenever, even when she's playing with her kids, instead of playing dollies, they do fashion shows.
Okay.
Because she teaches them how to model. So I believe there is something right that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I believe there's a seed that I'm planting in them. Also, I try and bring them to the office whenever the schools are closed, in order for them to learn about the work and learn about the business. Because if anything had to happen to me, then what's going to happen to Indoni?
Yeah.
So I have to. I want to try and raise them well, so that they can take over the business at some point whenever they want to.
Absolutely. I mean, and what better example to set than
Exactly.
you know, hardworking.
Yeah, I cannot
passionate.
be investing so much into something and then let it die with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Okay, now this is my last question. Josh and them are doing this to me on the side. Last question is, any advice for young entrepreneurs generally, or that want to follow a fashion path like you did?
I would say the most important part is remember your why you started at the first place. You may not have started like wanting to make money or wanting to build whatever, but then at the end of the day, this has become your bread and butter. You have to love what you do, give it your all, excel, make sure you stand out, because there are people that are coming behind you, like as a creative or as a designer. There are upcoming designers. Each and every year, there's designers that stands out. So if you're gonna relax, you're gonna miss it, you know? Just give it your all.
Yeah.
Love what you do.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. If you relax, the world moves past you.
That's very true.
Quinzy, thank you so much for being on the show tonight, our first show. We've loved having you. You're a great energy, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I'm truly honored.
Thanks so much. Okay, I want to give you a hug. Give me an awkward hug, mate.
Thank you so much. Sure.
Thanks, Quinzy. Okay, Josh, we did the awkward hug there, which worked out very well. But I had to do it. The aura is unmistakable. So had to give her a hug and say thanks. All right, so while Quinzy is just going off to the left here, I have another dapper figure called Tawanda. You might have seen him before on iKhokha Elevate. He is our product designer for the dashboard. And before we dive deeply into that, where we're going to talk through what the dashboard does for you and how you don't have to be an accountant to look at iKhokha accounting, I wanted to just have a chat with T, who flew in from Johannesburg this morning. T, welcome to the show.
Hey Ramsay,
It's
good
now
to be
called
here.
The show. Thanks. Thank you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, and thanks for coming down. So
Yeah.
T, so tell me a little bit before we dive into the dashboard.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been with iKhokha for a little while.
Yeah.
And I saw that you went to Wits. I was
Yeah.
doing some LinkedIn stalking there.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that and some of your journey.
Yeah, 100%. Good evening everyone. I'm Tawanda and excited to be here with you, Ramsay. So I'm born and raised in Harare, in Zim. That's where I did my primary and high school. I was privileged enough to have the opportunity to come to SA to study at Wits, where I studied computer science and eventually transitioned into product design. So now I've been doing product design for, it's probably going to be 7 years this year.
Okay.
And throughout that process, I've really learned to bring the two worlds together, digital and people, because ultimately that's how we provide value, right? It's about understanding the problems that people are experiencing and figuring out how to use these digital tools to solve those problems for them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's something we've always tried to do at iKhokha, and to try create tools that people actually need.
Yeah.
So you said you're a product designer, and I think for some of our audience, we're not sure exactly what a product designer is.
Yeah.
But can you tell me what that is?
I'm not too sure as well. Yeah. Well, look, product design it's really about understanding the problems that people are experiencing, whether that's in healthcare, in finance, in fashion, and figuring out how can we solve those problems using digital tools. So that could be websites, that could be apps. It's taken different forms now. You've got glasses, AR, all that
Those
stuff.
ones that look really cool.
Yes, yes, those ones. So.
That's
probably how I would put product design. It's really understanding what problems people are going through and figuring out a way to solve those using digital tools.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so obviously you guys designed the dashboard, and that was, for us, it's really been about, I suppose, creating an ecosystem around our card machine that you can use as a small business in order to make sure that you're getting ahead. So obviously we have products like Cash Advance, we have the debit card, all of these products that create an ecosystem around a small business and gives them the suite of products to succeed. So the question is, when you developed the dashboard and when your team worked on the dashboard, what did you guys think of, and what is the problem you were solving there?
Yeah, good question. So in true product design fashion, we went out there, interviewed business owners, and we're really trying to understand some of the the data and the information that they are looking for when they're running a business.
Sure.
And what we walked away with is, business owners were looking for a single platform that is easy to use, mobile friendly, so they can access it on the go.
Yeah.
And really what they wanted to see in that platform was get a snapshot of what's happening in their business. How many sales did I get today? How many sales happened this month? Is the business growing or is it shrinking? Do I need to intervene? What products are selling the most so that I can promote those products? Which ones are not selling as much so that I can discontinue them? So it's those sort of pieces of information that we had to figure out how to put it in one single platform that is easy to use. Because again, business owners don't have a lot of time to be tinkering around with software. So we had to make sure it gets straight to the point, and it solves an actual problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a young Quinzy over there probably could have used some of that. Maybe I could have as well in the early days of iKhokha with Matt. But okay, great. So we've got a focus, and you developed the dashboard, right? Or the team developed the dashboard. So maybe we can take our viewers through and our audience through just what that dashboard looks like. The first thing is, how do you get to this dashboard, this illustrious new piece of software we've built?
Look, it's a great question, right? We would talk about this fancy dashboard, but how do you find it? So I think how I figured out the best way to find it is to go to iKhokha.com. Just type in iKhokha.com, iKhokha.com, you land on our website basically, and on the top right there's a login button. So if you click login, that's going to take you straight to our login page, and all you need is your email address and your password, which is exactly the same details as you use on your card machines. So it's not a different set of logins, it's the same. Those will give you access to the platform. And
just to be clear, so you're going to go to, if I'm using my mobile phone like a lot of people in 2025, you're going to create a shortcut, but you're actually going to type iKhokha.com in your browser, and that might be Chrome, it might be Safari, it might be Opera OS or whatever. Wherever you go to surf the web, that's where you type iKhokha.com.
Correct. Yeah. So
I did just say surf the web. That's a very millennial thing.
Yes, you did. But I'm hoping the audience will follow, and I know our team on the side will pop a link in the chat, so it's quite easy. You can just follow that link, click on it,
cool. Perfect. So now we're in the dashboard, right? We're showing this to the audience at the moment.
I believe so.
Yes. Okay. So we're in the dashboard, and run me through what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so once you log into the dashboard, you basically land into your command center, right? So you get a snapshot of what's happening within the business. So you've got your sales data here. So your gross sales, number of sales, average sale, and you can view it for the current month. You can view it for the current week or today, depending on how zoomed in you want to look at the business. And then underneath that, you've got a graphical representation of how the business is performing compared to the previous month. So in my case, the business is struggling a little bit. That's why
Is that why you've got the reds there?
Yes, the orange, plus the reds. Okay. The orange line is above the blue line. So again, if this was an actual business, it would mean I need to intervene, right? I need to figure out why are we selling less than what we're selling last month, and then it really gives you the ability to then start taking decisions, right, of what's happening within the business. And then on the right side, we've got the last payout. So again, tying into the topic of cash flow, we wanted to make sure that our business owners know exactly how much money they can expect from us, from trading on our payment solutions. So we give you that quick snapshot when you land. So again, taking the anxiety out of managing cash flow. You know exactly how much is coming and when you can expect it as well. So that's quite nice. And then underneath that, we also developed the sales target feature. And the idea really was, how can we keep business owners and their teams motivated? So you can log into dashboard, set a target. It's completely based up to you. So I've got a 10,000 Rand target. For your business, it could be 5,000, it could be 100,000, it could be $1 million. And you can log in every day to track how you're doing. Yeah. And the best part is we'll actually tell you how much sales you need to do per day to reach your monthly or your weekly target. Okay. So that's another way where we're trying to really solve actual problems where hitting sales targets is an actual problem that business owners face. Yeah,
I mean, even probably setting business or sales targets often is something you overlook because you're so busy doing pretty much everything else.
Correct, right? It gets you to think about, hey, what's the minimum I need to hit to actually cover all my expenses and actually make extra to make profit.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a reminder to you guys online, if you want to ask questions or anything to us presenting here, please do so, and we will answer that just now. Yeah. I've got more questions, obviously. Yeah. There's one thing that you mentioned just around seeing the transaction come through.
Yes.
And so I think there's a live status there, right?
Correct. So we've got this recent transaction section. So this will show you everything that just recently happened within the business. So it's real time. If you perform a transaction on your card machine and you log into dashboard, that transaction is going to be there. And this again was informed by talking to business owners. One of the things that they have to deal with is confirming that a payment actually happened.
Yeah.
Because it sometimes often happens that someone taps their card, but there's some error that occurs through the system, and the customer walks away with the goods, but the money is not there.
Yes.
So this allows them to quickly check, like, okay, once it says approved on our platform or on our dashboard, it means the transaction is gone.
It's gone. Okay, so a bit of peace of mind. So I suppose, I've been thinking about this dashboard and how to frame it, but I suppose it's almost like the brains of your business, right?
Yeah.
Without you having to use too much of your own brain, so you can focus on the fun things in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So, okay, so T, the next thing is, obviously there's the sales component, your dashboard, your overview.
Yeah.
Then there's a paid portion of the iKhokha dashboard, and that's really iKhokha accounting.
Yeah.
So I think you said that is 217 Rand a month.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
First month or two are...
First month.
First month.
First month is free.
It's for free. It's
Yes.
a free trial for 30 days.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're a winner and you're one of the lucky 3, you'll have it for 3 months for free, gratis. But for normal users, you'll get 1 month trial and you'll check it out. But run me through some of the functionality there of the accounting, because I know it's quite hard hitting and a bit deeper into the business.
Yeah, 100%. So our accounting product, powered by our friends at Stub, really gives you all the financials that you need to run your business. So by that, I mean cash flow, profit, income, and expenses. So I'll just run you from the top.
Yeah.
So we've got the cash flow widget here, and really what you're seeing there is money coming into the business and money leaving the business. So the blue bars are money coming in, and the orange bars are money going out of the business. And what this allows you to then see when you get spikes in money going out, so that you can actually make sure that you prepare for those spikes, whether that's when you pay your salaries or when you go purchase your goods from your suppliers.
Sure.
You're able to then plan ahead and make sure that you've got enough cash in the business to make sure that you can cover those upcoming expenses.
Sure.
So that's one thing. Then on the right, you've got profit.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to speak more about profit, but profit is sanity, right?
Yes.
And that's probably one of the reasons you start a business.
If you're not spending it on bread and milk outside.
Yes, please don't do that. So yeah, we give you a single figure, which is quite nice. So you've got your single figure of profit, so you know exactly how much profit you're making in the business, and a breakdown of how we calculate that. So you've got peace of mind. If something is not making sense, you're able to then dive deep and say, okay, maybe I haven't categorized my transactions correctly. What's going on here?
Okay.
And then underneath that, you've got income and expenses. So these are really, I guess, the ingredients into everything you see, right? So income from your sales, from maybe loans that you got into the business, expenses such as salaries and wages, repairs and maintenance. So you can see here on my dashboard, I've got a view of all of those things,
Yeah.
and I can actually see off my income where majority of it is coming from, and from my expenses side, what are my biggest expenses?
Yeah.
Because then as a business owner, you can be like, okay, cool, salaries and wages is a big expense.
Yeah.
Are you getting value for money? Things like that. Repairs and maintenance, why is that bill so big this month? What did we repair? You can then start to dive deeper into that, right?
Sure.
And make sure that all the money that's moving in the business is accounted for.
Got you.
Yeah.
And so what I'm seeing there under your income and expenses, there are uncategorized items.
Yes.
Run me through what that means.
I was expecting this question. One of the beautiful things about this dashboard is you can connect your bank account. So you can link it directly with all major SA banks, And what that means is we're able to pull your transactions directly from your bank into this dashboard.
Okay.
In some cases, we're not able to automatically categorize a transaction because we don't understand whether it was a sale, or it was, like I said, a loan, for example, or it was a refund for a certain product you bought. So in those cases, we'll actually prompt you with what you are seeing there. You've got 6 uncategorized income, so you can hop in, you can then say, okay, this was actually sales that I got from a market on Sunday. These expenses are actually, I stopped to repair a tire,
Sure.
From we wouldn't be able to know those details upfront, so you can then tell us within the dashboard, and then that helps to basically categorize the data correctly, which is super important when you get to submitting taxes and all that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that this dashboard, it's integrated, it's plugged into my bank account.
Correct.
Okay, so it's secure and all those things, obviously. But what it's doing is it's looking at my bank account and it's saying, I see that money was paid out.
Yeah.
This is the bank account that's been linked to iKhokha dashboard.
Yeah.
So it's your business bank account. I can see there's money out, but I don't know what it's for.
Yes.
Please tell me what it's for.
Correct.
And then you do that.
Correct.
So that could be petrol,
yes,
tires, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then it sees there's a plus 2,000 Rand here, or plus 5,000, or whatever it is for a beautiful Indoni fashion dress or garment. Yeah. But so you receive this money and it says, I don't know what this is, please tell me.
Yes.
So you have to go and do just a little bit of manual work to make sure that you're keeping track of things.
Correct. It's not a fully automated process. We've tried to automate as best as we can, and I think one thing to mention is the system does learn over time. So if you categorize a certain merchant or a certain type of transaction as, meals or entertainment, then over time, if we keep seeing a transaction from that particular merchant, then we'll automatically categorize it for you. Okay. So it's not that you have to continuously do it. You might just need to train the system at the beginning, but in the long run, you probably do very little categorization, unless, of course, you're buying milk and bread randomly
yes.
with your business account.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Petty cash or something there. Okay,
yeah.
So obviously you're talking through, there's the categorization of expenses. So you can classify it as an income or an expense.
Correct.
I think maybe what we need to do is just for our audience and for the people that use this, but is to say what to categorize in what expense category.
Yes.
Jeez, category, there's a lot of big words there. But a lot of the time you don't actually know that product needs to be put in that accounting bucket.
Correct.
So that's obviously things we can work on and bring out to the audience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that warrants its own separate show, right?
Absolutely.
Just to walk through that. But I think, one thing I wanted to just touch on is the fact that the accounting dashboard is fully integrated with your iKhokha sales, so you don't have to do work to come and record your sales. I mean, obviously, if you connect your bank account, it would also automatically see your payouts coming in. But the beauty of this product is when you perform sales with iKhokha, we'll actually then split everything. So we'll then take the portion of your sales that we paid you and put that as income. And then the little portion that we kept as transaction fees will actually record it as expenses. So in that case, you don't have to lift a finger if you're trading with iKhokha and then you've got this accounting product. That's all sort of automated. I think the bank account would come in the case where you might be still getting EFTs or cash payments that you then deposit into the bank account. Then we can have a view of that.
Got you. And so I suppose what we're saying here is that there's this great tool that's available, but you do have to show it some love to make sure you're getting the most out of it.
Yeah,
and as entrepreneurs, I think maybe some of those hygiene things I was talking about, like brushing your teeth and other things every day, you need to do every day with your business to make sure that you're tracking your income and expenses, and so that you can sleep at night or you can be present, as a parent or a partner.
100%.
Sure. Okay. Well done. That's well done from you guys. Thank you for putting that together.
Thank you. I mean, again, I guess just to mention that, I mean, there's a massive team behind the dashboard. It's not just me. Multiple teams working on this to bring it to life. So yeah, I think a shout out to all the people in my team and the guys working on the dashboard. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I mean, thank you. I think couldn't have done it by yourself. I think it would have been a hell of a task. But yeah, there are obviously a lot of people out there that are working on this product, and there's a whole bunch that goes into it, and we hope to release much more functionality along the way. I'm not going to keep Graham or yourself honest to that roadmap that's going to land, or even tell you guys about when that's going to land. But there are cool features that will continue to drop onto iKhokha dashboard, and the goal behind it is really enabling you guys to understand how your business is going, to track your expenses, and ultimately to actually just sleep better at night. So that's kind of the problem that we've solved.
100%.
Okay, T, so thanks for that.
Of course.
I wanted to just firstly, I suppose, close the section for cash flow on us, or for ourselves. So firstly, I want to remind us, you know, as entrepreneurs and side hustlers, employees with a dream, we started our businesses with these dreams, right? We believe in something. We're doing it because we're passionate, and it gave us a way out, or it gave us a way in. Whatever the reason was, there's this dream, right? But obviously, if you're not doing the work behind it, which is not the fun work, and it's often the work that creatives or entrepreneurs in general don't really like that much. But if you're not doing that work every day or every few days, you're asking for trouble. So I think that's the one lesson. The second is obviously cash flow means money in, money out. If you're not tracking that, problem. The last point that Quinzy said really well, but is that you aren't your business, and you have to recognize that there's separation in that. And if you're not separating it, again, you're asking for cash flow trouble, because you might be inadvertently spending your profit. So those are some lessons we've learned. I'm getting flashed here from behind to speak to the giveaways. So there are obviously 3 winners that we've got along the way. Oh, now I'm being told to hang on. They're still trying to figure that out. But there is a poll that we've put in the chat, or we will put in the chat, and that really speaks to some of the problems that you guys may be experiencing out there. We'd love to know what it is. It's largely around cash flow, but let us now know how you're going there, and I think that'll give us a massive kind of direction for our next educational pieces and where we're going to. T, the last thing I wanted to talk through was just your dashboard and that left-hand column, and what else is available there. Did we go through that?
No, we haven't
gone through that yet. Okay. So the left-hand side, and I think just a quick browse through of, obviously there's this dashboard and there's great accounting functionality, but what else have we got to offer there? But you can't ruin the stuff to come, so just a quick gloss over.
I'll do my best to walk through. So I think, besides the accounting and the sales, we've got payment features built into the dashboard. So if you're looking to quickly accept a payment, you can use our payment link feature or our invoice. So that's for, maybe you might have a client that's not face-to-face with you and can't tap their card. You can send them a payment link, and they can pay you, or an invoice if you prefer to work that way. For our business owners who have online websites with Wix, WooCommerce, Shopstar, we've got them covered. So we'll directly integrate into those platforms so you can accept payment through our systems. And then for business owners with even more custom websites, we've got the payment API. So you can work with your developers to integrate with our payment API and accept payments through there. So that's from the payment side. And then underneath that, we've got reports. So that's your sales history, your payout history, and your tax invoices. So that's really the guts of all your business data. So you got all your transactional information, all your payout information. You can export this to use with your other external systems. It really allows you to then make those day-to-day decisions in terms of how the business is performing, and so forth. And then from a managed perspective, we do also allow you within the dashboard to create inventory, right? So you can create your products and services. And I think for business owners who run physical stores and have been thinking about going online, we recently launched the webstore functionality.
Yes.
Which we were super excited about. I can see from your smile.
Yes. But can't talk too much about it.
Yeah. So the webstore is really it allows you to create an online website that is fully integrated and can accept payments in under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, this product is free. for the current moment. So
No wonder we all work so hard here.
So that's really a game changer, because I mean, for most businesses, trying to go online, it's great and all, but then the headache of finding a developer to create a website. This is very user friendly. You can set it up in under 10 minutes. And get going and accepting payments. And like I said, everything is integrated, so you don't have to worry about connecting payments. They'll all stream through to us, and we'll pay you into that same bank account.
I mean, just to speak to that, I think a lot of, I don't know, some of you guys might have already set up a Shopify shop or a Wix shop or whatever it may be, and it's tough because first you have to set that shop up. You obviously need to pay for it, and then you need to become FICA'd. You need to work with a bank to accept e-commerce. So you basically sign up with iKhokha. You work through our approval processes, which are under 5 minutes. And suddenly you can launch a web store.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like if I was a business owner and I didn't have an online presence, I would jump on this opportunity, honestly.
Love it. Thank you, T. Thank you for that. To speak to that, I think obviously our next segment, and I've been trying to hold him back here on talking too much about the web store, but if there's a better way to intro it, I don't know. But T's really introed our next segment, which is going to talk to digital commerce and the importance of being online. So I'm not going to go too much further into that, and you'll have to join our next iKhokha Live to see that. If there are other things around cash flow and around general management and general business principles that you're battling with, have a check at our YouTube channel, and we've got an extensive kind of education series there that you can make use of, and hopefully you learn one or two things. If you're still trying to understand a few things, feel free to comment, obviously. So I've got a few, we've got a gap now, and we need to answer some live Q&A. So Josh, do you mind just off camera hitting me with a few questions that you might have there? And then we do have our winners lined up, which I see are coming into the Slack there. So can I read those out? Are we good to go? Okay, we'll post it and I'll read them out, because the winners are, this is the three here, I say? Yes. Okay, so the winners are Alchigox, Exhibition and Festival. Kiddies fun is what we do. We demonstrate toys and selling them, adding to the festivities in malls, markets and festivals. So you are winner one. Winner two is Exclusive Spot. Mashapa Malema from Exclusive Spot Restaurant, Car Wash and Theatre based in Seshego, Limpopo. You are also a winner. Well done to you. Third is Nkone Maringa, and I think the actual name of the business is Embrace Touch and Wellness Spa. We offer massage therapy service, Swedish full body, hot stone therapy, reflexology, Balinese, all the therapies you might need. So you two are a winner. All three of you get a cool iKhokha hamper that has a cap in it, as well as a free accounting session that we're going to run you through, and that'll put you in a much better place for your business. Lastly, we do have some questions that Josh has finally managed to scrounge off the comment section. Josh, hit me with some of those off screen and I'll try my best to answer, whether they're for me or T.
Okay, we've got a quick question here which says, I need a small amount to assist with stock purchase and operational funding. How do I go about that?
I think that's a tough one. I think with us, obviously, we've got the cash advance product, but you have to be transactional for 6 months within iKhokha in order to be made an offer that's based on your transactional history. It sounds super complex, but you basically have to trade well for 6 months and you'll have an offer in your inbox. And that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing that and I suppose getting finance is obviously through a bank, but you'll never really get finance through there. So you should ask friends and family, and I know that there are some proper trade and especially with DCC, some proper opportunities to engage them and receive some funding through them.
Yeah, cool.
Question one.
We have a question for Tawanda from Brandon.
Yeah.
It says, Tawanda at iKhokha, can you work on integrating prepaid sales into the dashboard?
Yes, that is something we're actively working on. I can't make promises of when we'll launch that, but I know we're actively working on that. So yeah, thanks, Brendan. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to repeat that, the question was when are we going to put prepaid services into the dashboard? And I think the goal behind the dashboard is that this is the place that you as an iKhokha business owner go to. It tells you everything you need to know about your business, but also gives you the opportunity to use all of the products there. And we've spent a long time building everything in the background to enable this. And so when I was talking about the kind of product drops on dashboard that will keep coming, this will be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question, which iKhokha tools are best for someone starting a township food and grocery spaza?
That's pretty easy. The tools that you're going to make use of most are the iKhokha Flyer or the iKhokha Flyer Lite. That will enable you to take payments right at your spaza and obviously sell airtime and do all of those good things. Take tap, swipe, all of those good things. What other products would you use? You'll use an e-commerce link. You'll use PayLink.
Yeah, you probably use accounting as well. Because if you're going to be running a restaurant, you've got a lot of expenses and income moving around.
Yeah.
So you probably need a platform to manage that. So I would, from the get-go, have something like IK accounting, so that you can then track, because I mean it's a restaurant, right? You're going to be buying supplies. You're going to be paying employees, rent for the premises. So you need some sort of accounting software.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think the answer is if you've got a business, whether it's township business, a business down here, whatever it may be, is that it depends on the size of your business and where you are when you start. When you start, you don't want to have too much expenditure in it. It's just going to sink you quickly. Rather control your expenses, and then I would use like one of either Tap on Phone, which is one of our cheaper options that you can download, well, it's for free, that you can download through the Android App Store, or make use of one of our more cost-effective card machines, which is the iKhokha Flyer Lite, and then look at our dashboard, and that dashboard will sum everything up for you. When you're ready, when your business has grown a little bit, you can move into the iKhokha accounting space and start to pay on a monthly basis for that, but obviously it gives you a whole bunch more of intelligence. Yep. So it's really a progression on the products that you use as your business grows.
Yep.
Cool. So guys, that's really the section for now. I don't know how long that was. Oh, we were right, 1 hour, 1 minute, I think. So it's kind of gone to plan. None of our cameras have fallen over. It seems like the sound has managed to stay on. Our lights are still alive. So everything is good. Lastly, I just wanted to thank you guys for dialing in. I know for a lot of us, probably my wife out there, it's close to suicide hour and it's time to put the kids down. So everyone who dialed in to listen to Quinzy, Tawanda and myself, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Let us know what we can do better, what we're not doing so well, and why you love us. If you love us, buy a cap if you want to. It will make me feel really nice. And otherwise, have an epic evening and enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe. God bless. We love you guys. Thank you for watching.
That's a wrap.